Welcome. Today's Smithville, Texas Eco Photo Festival presentation is called It's in the Name, Photosynthesis with Jim Horton, the garden chair at the Smithville Community Gardens. I'm Jill Struby, the chair of the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce and one of the founders of EcoFest. Although this is the first time that the Eco and the Photo Festivals are linked together, both of them have been a tradition in Smithville for more than 10 years. We're experimenting with this connection between the stuff that's eco and the stuff that's photo. And this is the first time we're using the virtual format. We really appreciate you, the viewer, and your interest in these topics. If you are interested in macro photography, photographing the very small things with those big lenses, please tune into the program with Linda Bauer and check out other presentations on a wide variety of topics that connect eco with photo. Today's presenter is Jim Horton. I'm very excited to present him today. He's the garden chair of the Smithville Community Gardens, which is a nonprofit that was founded here in Smithville in 2009 to address food insecurity in the Smithville area. Anyone is welcome to share in the bounty of these gardens. So if you're in the Smithville area, feel free to stop by and take what you need and maybe pull a weed or two while you're there. Jim was an apprentice to the Dallas landscape architect Naud Burnett and Casa Verde, Costa Flora, and Los Osos Orchid Company in California. That began a 40-year career in greenhouse management in Texas, Ohio, and Florida in different zones with varying growing conditions. He owned his own nursery in Fort Walton Beach, Florida for almost 20 of those years. He moved to Smithville in about 2008, and he met Judge Ron Jones, one of the primary founders of the Smithville Community Gardens and a great man all around. We all miss Judge Jones terrifically. Jim is currently serving as the garden chair, and he's managing the gardens throughout the seasons and managing all the volunteers. With a partnership with the school district, Jim is also a mentor of the youth of Smithville. We are truly all grateful to Jim for all of his work in the gardens. And if you want to meet him, pull a few weeds, bring home some delicious, nutritious seasonal produce, you can go to the gardens at 107 Southwest 2nd Street. That's Lee and 2nd, where the old food pantry is, on Saturdays after 9 a.m. and on Tuesdays after 4 p.m. I also happen to be on the board of the Smithville Community Gardens, and I want to take this opportunity to thank Jim for all his many years of hard labor and amazing service as he's building the community one tomato at a time. We sincerely appreciate everything you do, Jim. Did you want to talk a little bit about the gardens?
I would. It's been almost a dozen years since we started. Judge Jones, if we could have that slide up.
Let's do the video first. Is that okay?
Yes, that would be really good.
Okay. All right. So well, thank you again, Jim. And we're going to cue April 1st and do a video by Randy Kerr. We really appreciate Randy for all the work he's done with the community gardens. And this is a video that he produced for us. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
There is a place where beauty and community come together. A place where seeds meet soil. A place where light and binding waters nurture nutrition and soothe the soul. A place where ideas are fostered for common good, and you can explore your perceptions and your perspectives. The Smithville Community Garden is an edible park where you can just come and sit, or possibly leave with a salad. Brought to you by the City of Smithville and Garden Chair Jim Horton.
Boy, wasn't that fantastic? Oh my gosh, Randy does such a fantastic job with everything he touches. We're so grateful to have him in our community as well. Yeah, thanks, Jim. And thanks also for you to be involved in all of this, the community gardens. And I think this is where we were going to start talking about some of the work that you're doing. And
Sure.
April was going to start the PowerPoint presentation so we can see some other things that are going on and talk about that. So once that slideshow is up and running, we can start talking about that.
Very good.
Did you say you wanted to? Did you want to start talking about the gardens kind of in general while she's getting the slideshow up and running?
Well, as we said, we've been together for about a dozen years on this little project, and it's hard to believe the time has gone so fast. It's hard to believe that it has been that length of time. We started with Mount Pilgrim Church, had a plot of land that they wanted to grow for their congregation, and Judge Jones and Judge Culbertson decided that we would go out into the whole of the town. And so they were able to secure some vacant property, and that's kind of where we started.
Yeah, I think we have a photo of Judge Jones too. I think that's the next photo, right?
Yes.
There you go. There he is.
Ron Jones, what a man. He was quite a mentor to a lot of folks in town, both young and old. He was a jolly dude that enjoyed helping others and giving back to his community. We miss him terribly. If we go to the next slide, I'll talk a little bit about some of these partnerships that we've had.
And Jim, did you want to talk a little bit about the programs the gardens have been involved with over this last year?
Sure.
Okay.
We've had anything from sewing classes and sing-alongs to some of the more steady programs have been We Grow, We Cook, We Eat, which is our, we've joined with the Smithville Independent School District and ACE program and begun some virtual classes, but we also had a camp that was a week-long cooking camp, and that gave the kids an idea of what to expect in the kitchen, how to prepare their meals, and what was in the garden, how to grow. We had music lessons in that period of time, some exercise classes, and this year we even hosted the Empty Bowl Project, which serves our community through LPAA and the community clinic, and is a wonderful project that we really were proud to be able to host that at our new facility. And I guess we could go to the next slide and look at some of what we've had in the garden. Right now it's time to change our summer growth to our winter growth, and that's where we are at this point, putting in new plants and getting the last harvest off the eggplant and basil, and there's still quite a few beans left, and I'm looking for space to get the other things into the garden. I'm still producing.
That eggplant has had quite a season. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. I think we've had a lot of eggplant this year.
It's still rolling, especially with these beautiful temperatures that we've had lately. It's really producing. Next slide, please. And we do have it all. there is, even if you'll look at the picture on the right, this is our hops collection. And we're hoping that we can get someone in the community who enjoys brewing beer to come by and harvest some of our hops. We have Cascade variety that is it's in its second year and it's really producing well. We need somebody to produce Southside Smithville brew to put into some of our local establishments, I think. And,
I think you've got a couple of people thinking about it too, haven't you?
Russell Strong-Smith and Ryan Blackmore have both taken a little bit to try their hand at it. And so next slide, if we will, is our herb collection. And we do have, I try to place in herbs that will, some are perennial, like our thyme, oregano, and then others, well, sage as well, but others like basil, Thai basil. Some of the others are annual, so you need to get them while they're producing. But we do have quite a collection of herbs, and I'm constantly adding to that little collection. Hyssop has been my favorite from this season, with its little blue flowers and kind of a lemony flavor to it. It's very nice. Lemon balm is another one.
And Jim, this is one way that people can make really delicious meals without, and being
Indeed.
a little bit salt conscious, right? So
That's right.
a lot of those herbs and make it much more flavorful without needing to have as much salt in your diet.
And they all dry well. So we're able to put those in a hydrator or in the sun and dry them. You can use them throughout the year and have your own Southside herb blend. Mm-hmm. So we hope you'll come and share in that bounty. And next slide, please. Let's talk about Tilly and Mason. This is what you'll see when you turn the corner of Lee and Southwest Set. Brings a tear to my eye. We were given a grant from the National Endowment for the Arts 3 years ago. And Stephanie Schroyer produced this piece of art, which is a life-size portrayal of her grandmother Tilly and her son Mason. And we've prominently displayed this beautiful creation in front of the building. So you'll see Tilly, and even now when I'm watering, I'll look over from time to time thinking someone has stepped into the garden because it's so lifelike. And even knowing that it's there, I see Tilly and Mason, and it brings a smile.
They are beautiful. And that was a great program, that National Endowment for the Arts. Just to say, we were able to get 6 beautiful works of art throughout the community, which is just astounding. And this is being absolutely one of them. And it was something that was created not just by Stephanie Schroyer. She was certainly the artist in charge, but she had a whole crew of people helping her make it happen, and then installing it and, bring it to life. And she made it so that it had, I don't know if you can see it very well, but the pockets on the grandma, on Tilly, have room to have succulents. And so she made it so that it was itself a living sculpture. So we're so grateful to Stephanie for bringing this work of art to the gardens and to the city of Smithville. So.
It's good. Mm-hmm. Next slide.
Yeah, so this brings to mind the Homegrown Garden Program. We were talking before about how the COVID pandemic has been affecting the gardens. And so was curious a little bit about how the gardens have been involved over the last year because of the pandemic.
Well, our program is probably, one of the best for allowing social distancing, wearing of masks if necessary, if in close contact, and also getting a lot of exercise and good clean air. So we've been blessed with our project to being one that is conducive to folks getting together to be involved in the growing and planting, and with our not a whole lot has changed. Some of our fundraising and community projects such as ACE, the We Grow, We Cook, We Eat program, those have been taken virtual. So we do a Zoom program with that in cooking and in harvesting. We'll have some videos on that to help with that through this next little season. We've had some help with the St. David's Foundation, gave us a wonderful grant that will allow us, if I might digress a bit, I've had some folks who really don't understand the harvesting process. And if I could get folks to come on Tuesday at 4 or Saturday at 9, come have some coffee and share a little time with us, and I'll explain more about harvesting each of these crops. But I don't know if it was malicious or if it was just ignorance, but we had some plants taken from the garden. And so we've come up with an idea through this time, since others are wanting to grow their own at home. And with this St. David's Foundation program, we'll be able to provide some plant material, some similar to what we're growing in the garden ourselves, that folks can take home and enjoy in their own space. We've also begun a tool library where you can check out tools, shovels, rakes, trowels. We'll give you some ideas on planting and on fertilization, composting. These are all things that we can do virtually, as well as 4 o'clock on Tuesday, 9 o'clock on Saturday. So those are some of the ways we'll be heading into the future. I think Judy was the other day, we were trying to think of titles for various programs, and one was educate, pollinate, and medicate. And so we would use some of our herbal blends to facilitate various ailments. And of course, we do have the flowering things that give us a lot of pollination help with the bees and various insects. And we do want to be able to educate the community and share the knowledge that we've gained through years of service to give back to our folks here in Smithville.
Jim, and with the St. David's Foundation, also that grant's going to help pay for more virtual classes as well.
Yes.
So between the We Grow, We Cook, We Eat virtual cooking classes and some instruction videos that you'll be putting out as far as how to plant and tend and harvest, when to know if things are ripe, things like that. That's going to be another big part of the St. David's Foundation grant program as well. So
and a big help in getting the word out to others.
Right. Very good. Very good. It's all exciting. It's all very good. Exciting. So as I guess this is our last slide, and wanted to ask any new ideas for any continued community involvement as we progress into the new year.
Well, remembering that I'm there at 4 o'clock on Tuesday and 9 o'clock on Saturday. And coffee's always on that early morning Saturday. So come have coffee in the garden. It's not all about work. We do have a big part of my need is the energy that is put toward the various projects that we have. And so just seeing people kind of helps the old man get through the next month with a good attitude. And so I'm really hoping that I'll see more folks and they'll come and get their exercise and maybe take home a salad to or some herbs to help with their meal. I want to mention the one thing that's really producing right now is our hibiscus roselle, and it is the most terrific plant. With this, there are red cherries. You'll see them in the video if you watch it again, and those blossoms, if you marinate them in honey and then use 4 or 5 of those in your cup with some boiling water, you'll get a red tea that is just delicious. And the Jamaicans like to add a little rum, but and I have a friend who made some with gin. So if you need a pick-me-up with a little boost, it's quite a good plant. I hope you'll come by just to look at it, if nothing else, because it's really beautiful. It has a kind of a citrus lemony taste. And I just hope you'll come and visit us really soon.
It is a really beautiful garden, Jim. You just did a fantastic job there. It's amazing. It's always so pretty in the first place, and then to know that it's all edible besides is, you know, bringing that beauty home and having the nutrition in your body is a whole nother level of just a lot of goodness there. So I guess
to put these edible parks in more places is kind of one thing we'd like to do, but we need more involvement.
Right, we need a lot of help for it, for sure. So so if you are so inclined, there was one more thing we wanted to just bring up. We are going to have a fundraiser. We do a fundraiser every fall. Normally it's a dinner. This year it's going to be a little different because of COVID. So we're calling it Dinner and a Show. That's October 24th. Music by James Robinson, which will be on a YouTube channel. Looking for, we'll be having tickets available for that. We're looking for sponsors. The idea would be on the 24th at 6 that you would go and, well, you go and get your dinner ahead of time, and then you come home and watch the show. So go out and go to one of your local favorite restaurants and take some carry out and bring it home and watch the show and enjoy some information about the garden kind of along the way, but mostly watching a fantastic show. So that's a little plug for fundraiser for the garden.
And if I might pull in here, it would be really nice when you get the notice on Facebook, when you get the fundraiser page, if you'll share that with everybody you know, everybody on your list, we'll be able to get out into the world and share the Smithville Community Gardens with everyone. Get them all a ticket. So come be with us on October 24th.
Thank you. And there will be a website below this video connected to the video that you can click on for more information about that. So thanks again for watching this Eco Photo Fest presentation. Thanks to all of our sponsors, and thanks also for April Daniels for this another adventure in technology. So we really appreciate all of your tech support. Please join us. Oh, go ahead, Jim.
It's in the name, photosynthesis.
Right. Bringing together the eco and the photo. It's a perfect name. Please join us for the live interactive Zoom sessions this week at 6 p.m. Tuesday, October 13th, and 6 p.m. on Thursday, October 15th, when you can ask Jim and the other panelists your questions about all the eco photo sessions you've seen. Jim will be involved on the Tuesday panel. Please also mark your calendars for Wednesday, October 14th at 3 p.m. for the Outdoor Tourism Roundtable, if you're interested in that as well. Thank you again, and we hope to see you there.